Well, I think it's 12:01, so it's the time to start this fantastic event. I just want to say bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à cet événement. Welcome everybody to this special event. I am very, very pleased to be here today as the Quebec government delegate in the Midwest. My name is Martine Hébert. The Quebec government has an office in Chicago for 50 years now. And we are covering all of the Midwest territory. So we are very pleased to be here today with our partners from Wisconsin. So after months of preparation, we will assist today to the signature and the launch of a new partnership between BioForward and BioQuébec. As you will see, Quebec and Wisconsin have many, many things in common when it comes to life science industry. Quebec is a very vibrant, diversified, and unique life science ecosystem with a culture of innovation. It is home to more than 650 companies, and it is also a unique hub combining key expertise for the future, such as biopharmaceuticals, medtech, and digital health. For the past 10 years, actually, the province of Quebec has spent more than any other Canadian province on research and development in proportion to its GDP. You will also see today that Quebec is a vibrant, diversified, and unique life science ecosystem with the culture of innovation, as I said, as it is home to many companies, but to also a large talent pool with over 56,000 skilled workers. And BioQuébec today, that is with us today, is Quebec's largest biotechnology and life science networks. Its 130 members include companies and organizations which operate at every level of the supply and innovation chain. Wisconsin is home to around 2,000 biohealth companies, and more than 100,000 jobs are linked to this industry. The bioscience industry in Wisconsin is one of the largest in the states, generating around 50 billion economic output and creating lots of jobs, of course, with the economy. So BioForward Wisconsin, which is with us today also, is the collective voice of Wisconsin, robust and comprehensive biohealth cluster representing more than 220 members organizations across an integrated network of health solutions leaders. You therefore understand why this partnership came naturally between BioQuébec and BioForward. And I am very, very proud that to be with all of you today to celebrate this partnership. A little overview of the program today. We will first have a presentation of the Quebec ecosystem of life science from Mrs. Annie Perrault, who's the general manager of BioQuébec. Then we'll have two Quebec companies who will present us, do a little presentation. After that, we will have an introduction to the Wisconsin life science ecosystem by Mrs. Lisa Johnson, which is the CEO of BioForward. And then we will have two Wisconsin companies who will do us a little presentation. After this presentation, we'll take some questions and have some discussion. And then after that, of course, the culminating point of our meeting today will assist to the signing of the partnership agreement. So this is it. I hope that you will enjoy the program today. And I am pleased to present you Mrs. Annie Perrault, which is the General Manager of BioQuébec. Annie, to you.
Merci, Martine. Thank you very much. Good day, everybody. I'm very happy to be here today with my colleague from Wisconsin to present you the Quebec ecosystem, life sciences ecosystem. Martine, you mentioned that this came naturally. It came also because of you, and you introduced us, Lisa and I, to each other. Actually, it started with Nicolas, you'll meet later, but I think it was a great fit, not just for our organizations, but also Lisa and I are two golf players, so we automatically connected as soon as we met. So anyway, thank you very much for being here, Martine. I really appreciate that you're here with us. I'm going to go over rapidly the Quebec ecosystem and also about BioQuébec and what we're doing. As Martine mentioned, the Quebec life sciences system is among the largest in North America. It is comprised of more than 660 companies, biotech, pharma, CROs, medtech, which means 56,000 jobs in life sciences and health tech here in Quebec, which represents 5.8 billion in contribution to our GDP. 80% of it is located in the greater Montreal area, which includes Laval, of course, but other key areas are important to us, Quebec City in particular, and Sherbrooke. Our ecosystem is also strong when it comes to venture capital funding. I have numbers from 2019. I know the numbers from 2020 just came out, but 1.68 billion raised in VC by Quebec firms last year in 2019, and of the eight most active VC in Canada are based in the province of Quebec. Just to give you an idea, Repair Therapeutics, you might have heard of, raised in June 2020 more than 253 million US in funding. So just to give you an example of the strength of our venture capital funding here in the province. As well, Quebec has an ambitious life sciences strategy. We are the only province in Canada that gave itself a coherent life sciences strategy with 4 key objectives: to increase investment in research and innovation in all life sciences, to foster the creation of innovative companies, attract new private investment, further integrate innovation into health and social services network. One of the things that is important to mention is that because of the pandemic, the government has decided to review this strategy and just recently announced that the formation of 4 task force. I don't know if it's the right word, but chantier de travail. Those task force will work on those 4 objectives that I've mentioned. And of course, all of it is to establish the life sciences sector as a pillar for the economic recovery. Quebec's assets are clear. We are a true innovation hub for many reasons. One of which is all of what you're seeing right now on that slide. Access to health data, single payer healthcare system, which is maybe one of the most important difference with the US, ranked first for operating costs compared to major North American metropolitan areas. Predictability, which is really important. We have a consultation and public policy coherence when it comes to public policy here in the province of Quebec. We are an AI hub. That's really important to mention, as well, as there are so many connections now being made between the life sciences sector and health sector and the artificial intelligence sector. We are internationally acclaimed for expertise in oncology, cardiovascular, neuroscience, precision medicine. And we have flagship programs to accelerate discovery, development and commercialization. I'm just thinking just a few here, Anne-Marie Innovation, ERICOR, Anne-Marie Bioinnovation, which is a life science and health technology innovation hub located in the Montreal area, hosting research organization, biotech companies, ERICOR, which is accelerating discovery and commercialization in oncology, CQDM, and I could name so many others in the Quebec, province of Quebec. Now, we are also extremely well located. I think it's important to mention it, where we are on the map. So you can see that from Montreal, the greater Montreal area, we can fly to Boston in 1 hour, to New York, to Toronto, and Chicago is not too far either. So Montreal and the Quebec province is extremely well located, and also a great door for European enterprises when they do decide to come in North America. So that's, we believe, a great asset as well. We've put together in the province an initiative, a life sciences initiative, which actually we're managing at BioQuébec, called the Coolest Hotspot. It is comprised of more than 14 organizations. And the aim is to represent the ecosystem outside of the province of Quebec. So I will ask my friend Stephanie, who's behind here, to start the little video so we can show you a little bit in image what the ecosystem is all about. Merci, Stephanie. I don't know if you can go back just 2 slides prior to the video, just the slide before that one. Here's a code there, I think, which is, for all our friends in Wisconsin, if you have a chance to scan it, if you do that, you're going to be connected to an interactive map, which shows you all the Quebec life sciences companies, and you're going to be able to see what they're doing and where they're located. So it's a great little thing that we added to our website recently. So if you don't have time to scan it now, you can go on the BioQuébec website and take a look at our interactive map there. So let me talk now a little bit. Let me speak to you a little bit about BioQuébec itself. We are the association that represents the biotech sector. We do not represent the medtech. So we have colleagues with whom we're working very closely, MedTech Canada, Quebec section. But in Quebec, we are 2 different organizations. I think that's a little difference with BioForward Wisconsin, which is also comprised of MedTech companies. But for BioQuébec, our members are more than 130 enterprises now. I think we've hit the 135 or 36 in the last few days. Of biotech companies, contract research organization, clinical and preclinical research organization. Our mission, obviously, is to support Quebec's biotech and life sciences industry. And our vision is to position Quebec on an international scale as an undeniable key player in the biotech and life sciences field. Our members, as I mentioned, are biotech companies, obviously, pharmas as well, not all of them, and they're not in our association to represent their interests, where they're here with us to help us represent our interests. They have their own association, but a lot of pharmas have decided to be a member as well of BioQuébec. CROs, as I mentioned, they are key partners in the research and development and social economic powerhouse in Quebec. We have a great numbers of contract research organizations that are well known around the world for the quality of their research. We have obviously VC partners and other services companies such as financing, IP protection, for instance, marketing of innovations. And we have other support organizations that are members of BioQuébec. I think the next slide is going to give you a little bit of an overview of all the members that we have. You can see the logos coming up. It might be fuzzy a little bit. I don't know if it's the... And okay, thank you. And 5 priorities for BioQuébec. Well, obviously, to strengthen the financing chain, that's really important. Funding is at the heart of the growth of our companies. So that's clearly a challenge and an interest that we are defending, and a priority we are defending at the government level for our members. Facilitate the attraction and retention of workers. That's really important. Accelerate the integration of innovations. We are working right now on a study on the integration of innovations in the Quebec healthcare system. Obviously, we want to highlight bioscience's role and contribution. The last year has been incredible for that. We could have never made such a public relation campaigns due to the pandemic. It was obviously at the forefront of every newspaper and media, but the challenge will be to keep it that way in the next few months and years. And then finally, to facilitate access to the tax and research credits for our companies. One of the things that we do as well, which is really important, is to facilitate partnership so that our members can benefit from those partnerships and that we can increase and help them grow their business. So one of the partnerships that we have that in Quebec, all our BioQuébec members know about is the Mass Bio collaboration agreement that we've made about 5 years ago with our friends in Massachusetts. And today we're going to be signing finally the BioForward. I say finally, but it went actually so fast because we connected rapidly, and it was a great match actually. So we're going to be signing this collaboration agreement with BioForward Wisconsin, and we have other partnerships. These are just a few there on the screen. We have many others, but Biotech Canada, our friends from the rest of the country in the biotech field, BioTalent Canada, Fisher is a great partner, and other partners that I've mentioned. BioQuébec is we're a representative vehicle and an agent of change. We represent the interest of our members to political and business leader. We raise issue, we provide solution, we promote the industry contribution. We do so by open letters, briefs, studies. We try to never pass up an opportunity to highlight the industry contribution to various political and business leaders. Next slide, please. Stephanie, can you push next slide? Thank you. So contract research organization in Quebec, we had a brief about that, the biotech sector. We have a report on access to data. We have last year we had a study on public policy requirements and financing needs. That's the kind of thing that we do for our members. That's really, really important. We've started a campaign on PMPRB issues. We have a public relation campaigns about what we do and the contribution of our members to the society. We also has one of our main objective is to help our members develop their business. Obviously, we do so by high-level networking events, conferences, breakfast meetings, luncheon. Well, usually we do that in person. Last year, we've been doing this virtually since about a year ago, and we keep doing them, webinars, online networking session, cocktails even, like the Christmas cocktail last December. So we were hoping we would be able to do our next annual general meeting in person. Unfortunately, it's still going to be virtual this year at the end of May, but hopefully next September, we'll be able to restart soon our events in person and maybe welcome our friends from Wisconsin for that. So that would be great. So I'm not alone here today. I'm with two of my great board members, head of fantastic companies that I wanted to participate in this event with me to talk a little bit about what they're doing and why it is so important for them that BioQuébec establishes collaboration agreement with organizations like BioForward Wisconsin too. So I have my friend Suzy Talbot, the president of DIEX Research and founder of Hypercore International with me, and Frédéric Leduc. Suzy is going to be speaking first, and Frédéric Leduc, the president of Immune Biosolution, who was in the news recently. Great news because he just received close to $14 million for research on antibodies related to COVID-19. So Suzy and Frédéric, your turn.
Yes, thank you, Annie, and thank you for having me today. I'm very excited about that agreement today. DIEX, we're conducting clinical trials for the pharma industry and for the biotech since almost now 15 years. And it's always been in our mindset that collaboration, partnership is something that is really important. And being a center, of research, we have 4 sites in the province of Quebec. We always learn from other sites, but we're also seen as competitor. But when you think of collaboration and partnership, it's something that brings you, move forward. And a couple of years ago, we organized and we co-founded, DIEX co-founded an alliance, Hypercore International. And actually we're 2 Canadian companies and 8 companies from the US. And we also, some of the US sites do also have sites in the South America. So it's very exciting to learn from other, from the best of the best, the premier sites. And we have, seen a lot of leverage when we do business, when we work together. Of course, we remain competitive, and we're so competitive. But our main goal is always to bring the best treatment and the fastest we can do to bring treatments and innovation to patients. That's why we're here every day, because we don't know, maybe tomorrow you're going to take the pill, the drug, or your kids or your parents. So we want that to be, done as, the best ways possible, but the shortest is possible also. So with the pandemic, of course, we've seen that it was really something that we've put in place before, but we were really seeing the effect of it. We need a faster treatment. We need a faster vaccine and treatment for, prevent the disease. We're still in that whole thing, as you know. So we've seen a lot of collaboration. So we have our own, as Annie mentioned, we have our own, a lot of resources. The tissue, the environment in the province of Quebec is very rich in knowledge and experience. But we needed more, again, we needed more to collaborate, and collaborating with other sites like we do, business, we have the advantage to be faster in many ways. Recruit faster, we can share experience, and there's always someone who knows someone. So it's easy to get access to specific expertise. And so we really enjoyed collaboration. So of course, we do collaborate locally. And Frédéric is gonna talk after me. We did a collaboration last year, very fast collaboration for the coronavirus. And because of the environment that we have in place, it was really easy and really helpful. And we will keep that. I hope we will keep that mindset, from a planner's perspective for the future, because I think we work always best when we work together.
I think that Susie just mentioned the notion of co-petition in her network, but that's an interesting fact. I think that the pandemic gave us a lot of lessons on how to move faster, to be more efficient, to combine, synergize forces. And I'll definitely talk about how we did it in Quebec and how we can extend it to other regions. And definitely Wisconsin is an interesting place to start. So as Annie mentioned, my name is Frédéric Leduc. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Immune Biosolutions. We are an antibody company. And what we do is we hack the immune system of chickens to generate the next generation of immunotherapies. So since the pandemic, we actually decided to tackle this problem using our unique technologies that were getting faster and faster in terms of getting the best antibodies as possible in the earliest time. But the way we saw that challenge was really to see it in a multi-dimensional aspect. So we knew how to find these antibodies, but to tackle this huge problem, we needed expertise in a lot of different areas: regulations, biomanufacturing, clinical studies, preclinical validation, and so on. So the list expands to a level where I could spend the next hour in telling you all the details. But that's a trick. We are very fortunate in Quebec to have a lot of expertise just next door. So we're from a smaller hub in Quebec. So we're located in Sherbrooke. Sherbrooke is a small university city close to the American border. We drive down to Boston, about an hour and a half away from Montreal, but that's the trick. We know how to collaborate with people from all around the world because we know the value of it. So definitely it's going to be a very interesting next conversation as we see it. And definitely in my mind, the stats are quite telling. Most of the innovations are not coming from the major hubs. They are likely to be financed in the hubs, in the major hubs. So Boston, California on the other side, something in the middle with Chicago most of the time. But the innovation, the science is actually being done somewhere else. And that somewhere else is definitely, I think, the place that is interesting to me. and I think we learned in the last year to work remotely, to do things differently. So decentralizing activities, and definitely for smaller hubs. And I was going to say well-kept secret, but Quebec and Wisconsin are not that secret. But definitely there's new ways to approach discovering new drugs, advancing new technologies for the health, and definitely working, decentralized work is certainly the way to go for the next few years. So I'm looking forward to explore these new relationship and going forward to solve any unmet need.
Well, thank you very much, Annie, Susie, and Frédéric. And now we will turn to our friends from BioForward Wisconsin with Lisa Johnson, the CEO of BioForward. Lisa, your turn. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Stephanie, if you want to just put up my slides and go to the next one, would be great. It will transition. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Oops. Go back again. Get the Midwest in there. So I am going to start, as that slide is coming up, there we go. I just wanted to say, Quebec, you actually had an impact in my life. It has been now almost 30 years ago. Oh my God, time flies. So the people in Wisconsin know this about me, and the people that have worked with me know this about me. So Quebec, you get to hear the Lisa Johnson. I like to start with stories. So in 1989, I was part of starting a company called Novogen. It was a life science reagents company. We were very focused on protein expression, protein purification. And, here you have this little company, Madison, Wisconsin, going up against the big guys. And how are we going to get this company off and running? So as you know, and as I was listening to Frédéric, is that as an entrepreneur, you do everything, right? I was washing dishes, I'm taking customer orders, I'm shipping products, we have no cash, but we stuck to it, right? As an entrepreneur, and I'm relating this to what Quebec and Wisconsin go through, you gotta be scrappy, right? You gotta prove yourself, you can do this, even going against bigger companies, in our cases, as we're talking about this session, bigger hubs. And so we got our stronghold where we really were able to get off and running. We're with research institutions. Our NIH ended up being our biggest customer, but we shipped all over the United States, and certainly one of our first international markets was Canada. And it was really great watching that video on coolest hotspots, because I had not seen that video. I did not know those universities were going to be in there. I just want you to know there is a special place in my heart for McGill University and Laval University. You have outstanding research institutions. And I can tell you, I took orders from McGill, I shipped products to McGill, and even as Novogen grew, I'd go and look at orders, I'd see where things are heading, and I'd see Laval and McGill University, and I just want to thank you. You were a part of making Novogen successful. A little reagents company of 4 people, ended up getting bought by Merck KGaA out of Germany. That was also great to be a part of that company. But I just want you to know there is a connection that you helped us, and you should be very proud of your research institutions. McGill with infectious disease, molecular biology, we were shipping into genetics. I can tell you all the departments, that's how much we appreciated the business that you gave us. So I just wanted to start off with that, because we have to prove ourselves, right? Little Novogen had to prove ourselves, and now Wisconsin, Quebec, we're trying to get out there and change this image. For us, the United States, it's going up against the coast. Everyone talks about Boston, San Diego, San Francisco. But as Frédéric was saying, we have a lot going on here, just as you do in Quebec. And so we're trying to show this picture. It's not just little Wisconsin. I mean, we're part of this territory too. We're proud of this whole region, that really the talent, the innovation is coming from these smaller hubs. Certainly we get talent from Minneapolis, Iowa City, Chicago, Michigan. These are outstanding research institutions, just as you have in Quebec, but this is really helping drive the technology and the innovation and certainly our talent. So part of this is we do this marketing. We call it the BioHealth Innovation Territory. Annie was alluding to this. We aren't just life sciences. We certainly call this kind of the frontier of the life sciences, medical breakthroughs. But we see ourselves, and I'll have another chart coming up, all the way from our research institutions to our healthcare systems. And so since we do have medical device digital health within not only our membership, which is the strength of Wisconsin, the term life sciences does not relate to the health tech group or to the med device. So we really see it as strengths in biosciences, strengths in the healthcare system. We combine it together and we call it the BioHealth Innovation Territory. And so we really are trying to promote this area, but obviously Wisconsin, just our diversity of sectors, our quality of life, our excellent education system, the talent that we can pull from this territory, as well as now we are seeing the coast. And I was just on a phone call with a company in California yesterday. They're looking to come here. They can't afford to be in California. So we're trying to, again, trying to attract and change those images because there is a lot happening in Wisconsin. If you can go to the next slide then. So who is BioForward? We're very similar to what Annie with BioQuébec was talking about. We see ourselves with our industry kind of centralized in that center part of the cell is the integrated health solutions. Surrounding that are our different sectors and our research institutions. And then BioForward just is that circumference, going around supporting everything that's happening in that center. As already stated, we have over 220 members. And we're really here to help our companies grow. It was a very simple message. Our companies told BioForward, help us grow, help us bring in talent, bring in investments, bring in partnerships, bring in collaborations, which are all things that you're hearing from BioQuébec. All right, next slide. So I think this tells a better picture of what we really have here as we put up some logos and kind of the continuum. Again, we also have major research institutions. We are extremely proud of them. University of Wisconsin-Madison, one of the top research institutions in the United States, Medical College of Wisconsin, UW-Milwaukee. But just giving you some history for those in Quebec, really where the strength started in Wisconsin was in the research reagents and instrumentation. It really started with a couple companies, Gilson, who you'll be hearing from Nicholas Paris on the instrumentation side, and then Promega on the reagent side in the 80s. And then we had people starting their own companies coming out of Promega, and that's where I was involved with scientists to start Novagen. And so we just had this surge really happen in the 90s, early 2000s, on strength in the research reagents and instrumentation. That kind of, if I jump too ahead, kind of hits you into the biopharma, biomanufacturing. We have a lot of strength in API, biologics manufacturing, CROs. We have Lisa going to be speaking from Covance. So all of that is a major concentration in southern Wisconsin. If I flip back to the previous one in the medical device area, we have a major concentration in Wisconsin, and certainly Minnesota is very well known for medical device, but GE Healthcare is our major company here. I believe it's over 7,000 employees with their imaging based here in Wisconsin. And now then if you flip, I keep kind of jumping ahead, but I want to tell you about these. Oh, no, not that next slide, stay on that previous one. The other strength then that came out in the early, go back to my, there we go, is the digital health area. Really kind of took off in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and that was driven by Epic. They are your electronic medical records company, one of the largest in the world, based here in Madison. And what you had then coming out of Epic is a lot of talent starting their own companies, or it drew in talent from the outside to start this whole kind of health tech revolution, and a lot of strength happening here in Madison and Milwaukee. Then what has happened is the kind of this third wave is happening in the diagnostics area now in Wisconsin. And that's being driven by Exact Sciences, which is your colon cancer screening company who is buying a lot of companies and rapidly expanding in the Madison area. So those are real strengths. That's what you want to see in an ecosystem that brings investments, that brings partnerships, collaborations. Talent leaves those bigger companies, they start their own companies. And so just wanted to give you some history on the waves that have kind of happened from the reagents to the digital health, now to the diagnostics. And then finally, we're ending with our healthcare systems, that we have outstanding healthcare in the state of Wisconsin, and really driven, there's the three that I have listed here: UW Health, Medical College of Wisconsin, and Advocate Aurora, which is Aurora Healthcare. Okay, next slide. Just quickly, economic impact, it was already mentioned some. The jobs for the industry itself is not up there. We do also have, we are showing our biohealth supply chain. Wisconsin's a manufacturing state, so a lot of supply chain jobs are being driven by our biohealth industry. We do have over 46,000 direct jobs and over 100,000 jobs total, because we have a 2.5 multiplier effect and a very, very strong growth, job growth rate. Okay, next slide. And I just want to show recent expansions. Again, when I had Novogen, and I also was with another company many years later, is that we would see companies come in, they might keep they'd buy the company in Wisconsin, they might keep it for a few years, but then they'd yank it out. They take it elsewhere. Honestly, they were taking it to the coast. Now you're seeing the opposite happen. So companies are buying entities here, or companies that have started here, and they just keep expanding. They aren't pulling them elsewhere. They know this is strong here in Wisconsin. They get a lot of support. There's talent here. And again, we still have to continue to try and bring in talent, but we are seeing numerous expansions continuing to happen in Wisconsin. Okay. So back to BioForward a little bit and listening to our industry on what we need to do. We saw ourselves really in two ways: positioning the industry for growth and then promoting the industry throughout both nationally, internationally. And so just quickly, we hold events. Our biggest event is our BioHealth Summit this fall. It will be on October 7th, hopefully in person, we'll see. We had a COVID series that was phenomenal, again, virtual just recently. Annie had mentioned that you guys have a partnership with Fisher Scientific. That is a major partnership for us. We have a very large purchasing consortium. We have 12 vendors. We have major savings by our members, but our major partner, great partner to our companies in BioForward, is Fisher Scientific. All right, next. We also spend a lot of time on advocacy. We are a 501c6 designation in the United States, where I'm a registered lobbyist. We lobby our state legislature, so we really have to work on that. We also believe in working on STEM education, not doing it ourselves, but rather donating to really great work in Wisconsin that's being done to enhance our education and also health and well-being of our citizens. So BioForward has donated $28,000 just to those efforts this last year. And then we work with really great partners. We have a Forward Bio Institute on the UW-Madison campus that is driving workforce development, working with our companies, a master's in biotechnology program. These are just examples that are, again, listening to our industry. What are their needs for talent? What are the certifications you're needing? How can we help? So I think it was Frederick who said, or Susie said it, you know one another, you know how to work with one another. Sometimes in the big states like California, they aren't as well connected. They might be within that city itself a little bit, but here we know everyone. We know how to connect, we listen to one another. And I think that makes a big difference and helps our companies all grow here. Okay, next slide. And then finally, promoting. We do an economic impact study every 2 years, looking at obviously the economic impact. It helps a lot on the legislative front, but again, just getting the word out there on just how strong our industry is. We also work on the entrepreneurial area. again, with the Institute, who has a Catalyst program taking innovation out to the marketplace. And Forward Biolabs has recently launched during these last 2 years a shared lab space. But what's been great about that is where the state has come in, helped fund with a fully equipped lab. Its operations are funded. So it was community support as well as government support. And we've had it's been packed. Companies are coming in, they're graduating, they're going to our university, our research park, they're expanding. So we've been involved in that and promoting and helping bring connections together. Okay, and I think one last slide. And then finally, our big initiative has been our talent campaign. Nationally, we've started it, it's been almost 2 years, a social media campaign, landing page. We've hired a public relations firm. This really is getting back to how do we change the image, right? How do we bring more spotlight onto the state of Wisconsin and even regionally? For us, you know, we're always fighting, oh, it's cold there, the weather, oh my God, how do you stand it? Whatever. You got to be a little tough. And like I said, I love the word scrappy. That's what we believe here. The work ethic, again, quality of life. I'll take some cold weather. Over and affordability. So we are constantly, again, trying to promote and just talk about the strengths and how great the state of Wisconsin is. Okay, and I think that's it. So give us hang in there with our website, watch for it, hopefully by this summer, and we will have a new website up that should be really awesome. So thank you very much. And with that, I'd like to introduce, I also have 2 board members speaking. They are part of my executive committee. The first one is Lisa Beagle. I see we sort of switched the I and the E, excuse me. She's VP at Covance, and that's going to be followed by Nicholas Paris and Gilson. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And thank you for this opportunity. It's actually really kind of funny. Within BioForward, Lisa is known for her enthusiasm and her energy. And to be talking with Annie, it's like talking to Lisa, but with a French accent. So it's really great. I look forward to this. I'm Lisa Beagle. I'm the VP and Global Lead for Safety Assessment, Study Direction, Data Management, and Reporting. Covance, with our partner, our parent company, LabCorp, is probably one of the world's largest laboratories and health diagnostic companies. We have approximately 75,000 employees globally. And LabCorp really has 2 divisions. One is the diagnostics division, which basically does analysis for blood samples collected at hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices, Walgreens, anywhere that collects a blood test, basically. They perform about 3 million tests a week. And interestingly, during the pandemic, they conducted more than 40 million COVID tests. That's to date anyway. Covance, which I'm an employee of, is a full service contract research organization. We help our clients develop pharmaceuticals, medical devices, agrochemicals, and industrial chemicals. We are involved in virtually all aspects of drug or product development, everything from basic discovery research through early development testing, all phases of clinical trials, commercialization, post-marketing, and regulatory support. The largest of our early development facilities in Madison, Wisconsin. We are 41 acres with 5 buildings and more than 2,000 employees. We've been at the site since 1982, performing all aspects of early development work, general toxicology, developmental and reproductive studies, metabolism, ocular. More recently, we do a lot of gene therapy, as well as bioanalytical testing and CGMP work. On our site, we also have a clinical research unit made up of 72 beds and that perform phase 1 clinical trials. But that's not really why I'm here. I really wanted to talk about Covance, BioForward, and our, interactions and involvement. Covance is a company that's very focused on employee engagement and engaged in the scientific community. As a company, we have a lot of employee resource groups, such as a Women's Empowerment Network, a Go Green Committee. We have a resource group for Madison veterans, just to name a few. And the mission of those employee resource groups is really to increase employee participation, both at the site level as well as in the community, to really enrich our workplace environment. Events like these really provide our employees with leadership and volunteer opportunities, and it helps maintain Covance's reputation as a civic leader within the Madison area. Part of these efforts really is enhanced with our involvement in BioForward. We've been a member of BioForward for more than 20 years. In fact, when I asked them how long Covance had been a member, they couldn't find a time when we weren't, which just sort of illustrates the long-standing history of the biohealth industry in Madison. BioForward really provides so many activities and events like the BioForward Summit, Women in Biohealth events, other networking activities that benefits our employees. It gives us a chance to engage with other businesses, other scientists, and collaborate on things like the Masters in Biotech program through the University of Wisconsin. We've also been heavily involved in developing the talent and PR campaign that Lisa was mentioning, trying to get Wisconsin recognized as a state with two really great hubs for the biohealth industry. We find that it's so much easier to recruit and bring talent into the area when there's a thriving community and there's lots of activities and opportunities for people. I think Frederick mentioned that innovation is more and more coming from smaller biotech companies, and we're seeing that as well. We are a fairly large company, and we work with hundreds, if not thousands, of clients each year. And we're seeing more and more that our clients are these smaller, agile biotech companies. BioForward provides so much support to these smaller biotech companies, which in turn really helps the larger biohealth community as a whole. BioForward not only supports its members and the biohealth industry and the community, but it really promotes it. So I can't tell you how exciting it is to see this collaboration between BioQuébec and BioForward, and to see, what we can do together and help both organizations and our member companies. So thank you, and I think I'm going to turn it over to Nicholas.
All right, let me try to find the button to turn on that video. Here we go. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Hello and bonjour, everyone. I'm just like struggling to understand if I need to do that in French or in English. Well, we'll keep on in English. First of all, thanks Annie, Lisa, and Martin for making that partnership and that even possible. It's I think it's really an achievement. It's really good for me. I have also a personal background to Quebec, and that's make it close. And that's like the kind of story like dating the 20th century, when I was a young professional working for an insurance company, and I was sent to work for a few months for les Assurances Mutuelles du Québec. That was a very good time of my life. Probably not so much delivery for the insurance company, much better delivery for the beer industry at the time. But that was very great, and Quebec has stayed in my heart very close. So I'm not living so far away. Now I'm representing Gelson. So Gelson is a third generation family-owned company, actually born 70 years ago in Madison, Wisconsin. It all started like a lot of companies from the University of Wisconsin. it's a global company now, but it stays very grounded in its Midwest, as you can hear from my accent, I suppose. Gelsson is a sample prep company and doing instrumentation and service. And you probably know us for some product like the pipette that most of you have probably used in the lab called Pipette Man, which is something that has been invented here in Wisconsin back in 1968. And so many other premier here initiating from Gelsson here in Madison. So that goes in the direction of what Frederick was saying about the smaller hub are the more creative, and that's just a demonstration. There's been a lot of different things invented by Gelsson in the chromatography and preparative chromatography lines, like the first fraction collectors, etc. So very very creative here. So in a nutshell, so Gelsson has gone to be a global company, but as Lisa mentioned, the Gelsson, the EPIC, the Promega, and the other are still there and grown and still in Wisconsin and in Madison. So we need to understand why it is, right? And it's at first, I think it's because there's that ecosystem here. Yes, that's a hub. We go from bench to bed, and we go all along the way. And there's a lot of things and collaborations locally where people want to work together. Second, I guess, is about sharing values. And there are strong values and strong sense of liking the job done and well done, and sometimes taking the time and too much time to do it. But that's part of the strong value of Wisconsin and people collaborating in that. And it's just like, once again, Gelsson being here and all the others still being there and going nowhere shows the just about how good is the place and how we love it. And if I take my personal choice, it's not because my flight from Boston to San Francisco I had to do an emergency landing. It's really a choice that I'm in the Midwest. So it's not a flyover state, and that's what we're trying to develop. Why Gelsson is here as well is because it's simple to do business here. You can reach people. Try to reach the CEO of Promega or the CEO of Exact or similar company when you're in Boston or in San Francisco, San Diego. Good luck with that. Here, it's simpler, and you have access to those people, and you can just talk about business and do business and develop upon that. So, and it's pretty good and it's pretty efficient. As Lisa was mentioning, you have a very skilled and competent workforce here, and still very affordable compared to the price you would pay an employee on East Coast or West Coast. You have the same level of skills, if not better, and it's still affordable. So when you think really much to expand to the US, that's a place to consider here. On top of that, we have in Wisconsin a lot of towns that have French names, so you'll never get lost in between Fond du Lac, Portage, La Crosse, Eau Claire. Okay, we have Oconomowoc and Sheboygan, another more complex city, but it's what I'm saying, with thousands of people representing the francophonie in the region too, you'll be in a very known place. So it's a very safe bet, I think, if you want to look at getting more in the US to consider Wisconsin. So that's the reason why Gelsson is still here, and there's no will to go anywhere else. Then it's all the impact of BioForward. There's a really deep commitment from companies here in their ecosystem to have that give and take relationship. For instance, I've been serving for, what is it, like 6 years on the board of BioForward. As Gelsson, we support a lot of initiatives, financially, in kind, in know-how, or just like time and investment. But to the contrary, BioForward is always very instrumental. As a larger company, we have tend sometimes to lose some ground on the community here, because we were focusing more like on developing another market. Even for Madison-born company, BioForward has been very instrumental to link us back with a network and the community here. So that's very important. I think there's something that Lisa has just mentioned also is that there's also an ethic value to what BioForward is doing, very much trying to help giving a sense of purpose for the company in their community and environment. All those programs like Women in Biohealth, all the diversity initiatives, the STEM programs, all of that makes us also feel belonging to something. And that's part of the value I was probably talking about earlier. BioForward had very good benefits for Gelson. Collaboration. We were able to develop a lot of collaborations locally. I mean, we are an instrument manufacturer. If we don't collaborate with the people who develop the science, we're not going to go anywhere. So like that win-win situation, people putting the science and the instrumentation together is giving very, very good result. And BioForward has been key to a lot of them. We were mentioning events. Yes, it's everybody's do events. I love to go there because I love to learn from the best. But those events here that BioForward organize are really, really important because you have quality people and people who really know what they're talking about and can really be here to help you. Advocacy is a great point. When you think United States, you have to think not as one set of law, but federal, and then state, and sometimes county, depending on how deep you go. So being able to make your voice resonate either at the state level or the federal level is something that is enabled by BioForward, and that's very key for all of us. And then cooperation, yeah, I mean, a lot of the time you need to expand beyond your comfort zone. And what I've seen with BioForward as the CEO of Gelson is that BioForward and its members have been able to connect us with the people who can help us dealing with that out of comfort zone. So if you think about growing in the US, yeah, and again, I'm going to be heavily promoted that Wisconsin is your gateway, but BioForward is also the key for the market. So it's important. Conversely, a company like Gelson is also very interesting with expanding its footprint to Canada. And naturally, people here, and I see that from my team, are more like angling toward we want to have English speaker when like suddenly they can discover that people speak English in Quebec, and then when you go there, you see as Annie has mentioned, there's so much to offer for company to expand that it's something that we also have to promote to that. And for Gelson, yeah, I mean for expansion in Canada, because we're working on that now. Of course, Quebec is going to be the natural connection for my company, which is really like culturally in between French and English language. And I also see a lot of different capabilities addition or collaboration that we could have. And last but not least, Annie, because I'm going to give the floor back to you. I really can't wait to come over and attend one of those parties and cocktails. It's been quite a long time that I haven't promoted the beer industry there, so I can't wait to expand my reach to Quebec. So thank you for that opportunity.
Great, thank you, Nicholas. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Nicolas. Now we will jump into the Q&A period very briefly, because we've took some, we are a little bit back further on the agenda, but I know that there was a couple of questions asked in the discussion room, so and that were already answered by Annie directly. I don't know if Annie, you have any question that you see into the chat section.
Not right now, Martin, actually. I've no questions from the audience. People are saying congratulations for the signing, which we'll be making soon official.
Yes, yes, in a couple of minutes.
Yes, that's right. I know you have a question for us.
Well, maybe yes, just for the businesses who are listening to us today, you know, in terms of practically speaking, we sign partnerships. What's going to happen next? I mean, what kind of activities or what kind of initiatives can get out of these kind of partnerships for
good questions, Martin, because we don't want to leave it just a piece of paper. We don't want to do that. If I can just start, Lisa, if I may. First of all, thank you. It was great to hear you. Great to hear from the other Lisa as well, and from Nicolas. And of course, I don't know why, Nicolas, we're always known in Quebec for our parties and cocktails, it seems, but we're looking forward to do that again in person.
You're known for art de vivre. That's different.
Yes, that's right. We're missing a little bit of that right now, but we're going to be back in force when we reopen for business. Let me just give you an example of what we've done with Mass Bio and what we would like to do with BioForward Wisconsin. When we signed up with Mass Bio about 5 years ago, the goal was to obviously do something that would help our companies, and in particular for the Quebec companies, it meant attending events in Boston as if they were members of the Mass Bio organization. So that was a big difference than being a member itself. Because they could attend different events, but also because we've organized, they came to Quebec. We had the delegations a few times. Actually, the last thing that we did beside the Quebec budget last year in the lockup was the welcoming the Mass Bio delegation of 10 people in last February. But also the Mass Bio people, they will invite our members to their events, partnering days. So what we would like to do with Lisa in BioForward Wisconsin is obviously to welcome them in the province of Quebec as soon as we can, and show them around. There's nothing like seeing and talking with people. So we would like to do that and welcome them as a delegation. And I see that they're hosting a summit next fall. So we're hoping that maybe we can fly there as well and see a little bit of Wisconsin and meet your people. But organize events such as partnering days. We have an event that is going to be coming up soon in the fall as well. And I don't want to say too much about it. Frédéric is quite involved, but this could be something where we invite friends from Wisconsin to attend, where some companies are pitching, and there are other companies that are listening, and they are investors potential. So we want to organize maybe pitch days. It could be something like that, where companies, biotech from both our states, Wisconsin and Quebec, can actually pitch to investors from both our environments. So it could be something like that. But one thing from my side that I want to make clear is that we don't want to leave it just for a piece of paper. We want to organize events. We want to make sure that Lisa and I can introduce people to each other, and we can ensure that there is a networking that is taking place. We cannot do the business for them, but we can facilitate that. And that's clearly what we would like to do with this partnership.
Great. Lisa, anything to add to what Annie just said?
I just got to tell you guys, I hit it off with Annie from day one. Nicholas called it. He's like, I can't wait for you and Annie to meet, not only with the golf. Okay, we did discover we both love golf, and when she comes, we're going to go golfing. Or if I head up that way, she said it so well. I mean, I'm absolutely with her. It's one of the statements we use with our organization is we're action oriented. I can't stand when just people talk. It does no good. It doesn't help any of us. Let's take action. What does that look like? And it's all the things that Annie is saying that we agree. And we're really going through what the MOU has in place. And so I just really look forward to helping, just break down those barriers and how can we help any of the companies and just make those connections. Certainly, I live that life of international business. It's how I functioned. And that's how your companies can be successful, as well as your research institutions. I mean, I license technologies from all over the world. I mean, but those require those types of partnerships and connections. And that's what this starts to help to do. And so I really wanted Annie to talk about what she did about the MassBio relationship, because I think MassBio did a really great job, along with BioQuébec, on making some things happen. And so we look forward to doing the same with BioQuébec in the upcoming year, and especially as we get out of COVID here. So yeah, otherwise I think Annie said it very well.
And Lisa,
Thank you.
I received a message saying, with your energy and my energy together, we're probably playing an 18 holes in 3 hours. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. We can try.
We can try.
I think that is right. Thank you very much to both of you. And I want to assure you, both Lisa and Annie, as my colleague from Investment Québec, Roch Paquette, pointed out in the chat, in the discussion room, that we will be there at the Quebec delegation and with our colleagues from Investment Québec International to support you into organizing these events and making sure that you get all of the support that you need from the Quebec government perspective, from our organization. So now I will ask you to proceed, if you wish, to the signature, please.
Yeah. All right.
I just want to do a little blink to Nicolas Paris, because when I met Nicolas for the first time, we quickly agreed that it would be a very good idea to try to see if we can push the partnership between Quebec and Wisconsin a bit further. And it seems, Nicolas, that we are the Tinder of life science, as we made a perfect match. Nous avons fait mouche, comme on dit en français.
That's a good start.
So I understand that now, Lisa and Annie, you are signing, and we see the agreement. Is it completed? Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Thanks, fantastic.
Thank you. And Martine, actually, I need to say a few words to you and your team, and because without yourself and the team, we would not have met. Lisa and I, actually, the whole thing started with a meeting with Nicolas. And when I did that meeting, I was not expecting to do it in French, but Nicolas showed up, and it was fantastic. We could talk, and it was a great meeting. And then he kept telling me I needed to meet with Lisa. We would connect, and he was right. We did, and so it was I'm very pleased. Thank you, Martine, for your help. But that's exactly the kind of work I think the Quebec delegations in Chicago and other places around the world is doing. So for that, I say thank you. And I hope, thank you to Suzy and Frédéric on my side for being there. I know, and I hope that this partnership will help you grow your business as well. So Lisa, I'll let you give you just a few words at the end.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I agree. And thank you, Nicholas, for pushing us. Nicholas is always pushing me too. I mean, do more, we can do more. And so we just really look forward to working with all of you. Susie, it was nice to meet you. Frederick, the first statement that last week that you said, we have hidden gems. I've written that down. I'm like, oh, I'm using that. I like that. I agree with that. So now I don't want it hidden anymore, right? It's we want them sparkling everywhere. But again, thank you for everyone for attending, and thank you for organizing this. Thank you, BioQuébec. They really did a lot of this organization and with all the PowerPoint presentations. So we really appreciate all the work that Stephanie did as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to everybody, and thank you. You mentioned it, Annie. Thank you also to all the team members from all of our organizations who contributed to the success of this event today. You know, Quebec and Wisconsin are big trade partners. We trade for nearly $1.3 billion every year. And I think that it is important to continue to work on growing our economies and favor innovations, because together we are stronger. And the COVID crisis reminded us about the importance to continue to secure our North American supply chains, especially in the crucial industries like the life science industry. And I really hope that I'm convinced that this MOU will facilitate cross-border partnering and networking for association members, and will help us continue to prosper and innovate together. So Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
you.
Thank you for attending. Bye-bye.
Stay well, everyone.
Stay well.
Bye-bye.